Hey, it's louisity again, and for this video, I'll be doing my Asian Readathon collection of book reviews, or some of you may call it Asian Readathon Wrap-Up. Hooray! So, May 2019, I participated in the Asian Readathon, hosted by Read with Cindy, right? And the reason why I'm just releasing this now, I just finished in June 6th, 2019, the last book for my TBR pile for the Asian Readathon. So that's why I'm just filming this now. But anyway, it's never too late. Even if I, wasn't able to finish it in May, I still continued the last book until, I'm done with it. So, well then, let's begin! So the first book that I read is Pokemon. So this is the first volume of the Sun and Moon saga. So this is in the Alola region. Now what's interesting is that the characters here I think are different compared to the one in the TV show. It was a simple read. You just breeze through it because it's a graphic novel. By the way, this is a story by Hidenori Kusaka and the art is by Satoshi Yamamoto. So it was just really fun. It wasn't something that made me jump and down or jump off my seat and and all that stuff. But it was pretty cute. I love Pokemon. Growing up, I watched a lot of their, series, Johto region, Kanto, Hoenns, and even when I was already older, when I was already working, I was able to witness, what was that region again? Pokemon XY. If I remember it, I'll probably just share it somewhere. So, yeah. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. The next book that I read is The Vegetarian by Han Kang. Now, this book talks about the story of a woman named Young-ye. One day she wakes up and then she decides to become a vegetarian because of a dream that she cannot erase, and she believes that because of the dream, for the dream to go away, she would need to get rid of all the meat. It affected her relationship with her husband, with her parents as well, where they were living in South Korea, where, being a vegetarian or a vegan is kind of a taboo, based of course on the summary, as well as kind of the way, the story went. And then sooner than Young-ye meets her brother-in-law, which happens to be the the husband's the sister's husband. Oh my god, I'm getting a little rambly. Anyway, so yeah, Young-ye meets her brother-in-law, who happens to be the husband of her sister, and who happens to be a video artist, and then they create all these portraits, and then slowly, gradually, Young-ye decides that she needs to turn into a plant. And I'm telling you, oh gosh, it's quite short, but it's so substantial. It's very intense, especially towards the end. The scenes here are very really intense, especially when they were shoving her the food. Now, I do have trigger warnings for this one because there are scenes here that really created a vivid picture of a dog, being brutally killed. There was a scene there wherein they kind of put a rope around, and then the rope was attached to a motorcycle, and then the motorcycle was spinning around and around. And yeah, if you guys are really you get affected when it comes to animal cruelty or any kind of violence or anything that's kind of bloody, then just a warning, there's a portion here. I think it's in in italics. It's italicized. Okay, it's in italics, so you can skip that part. And if that is something that is kind of a deal breaker for you, I'm letting you know that this book contains a scene about that. At least I saw a scene. So yeah, Well, I gave this book, I believe, a 4.5 out of 5 stars. The only thing that I would, probably say that made it just to 4.5 as opposed to like a perfect 5 is because there were scenes here that were a little too blabbery that I didn't really connect with, especially in the middle. Okay, so it just didn't have that effect on me that much. But overall, this book is great, and I think I am gonna buy another Han Kang book. We'll see about that. Hoorah! Up next would be a book that I read, which is a Philippine fiction, Bone Talk, written by Gourlay. So this follows a story about a boy who is in the process of becoming a man, during the American War, and they get to meet his, alleged spiritual brother who brings with them, an American person, and it just goes to how like the Bone Talks dealt with their lives, and now that they've they faced the Mangilis, so yeah, that's just like kind of like the gist of the story, and how one can kind of like survive during the American War, so overall I think it gave me like a better idea on how like the indigenous tribes were during the American War. Although I think I read somewhere here that there weren't that much records. It was just based on the things that they found during the research that Gourlay did, if I get it correctly. But yeah, overall, I think it's a wonderful read. It is quite slow at times. There were times when I did feel like some sort of a disconnect. Okay, so I would give this book like 4.5 out of 5, and I'm so glad to read like a historical fiction book from the Philippines. Although in National Bookstore, for some reason, it's tagged like sci-fi, which that's interesting. But yeah, it's more of a historical fiction. I definitely encourage you guys to pick it up if it is available in your country. I think in the United Kingdom it is available. This is where Gourlay is currently based. So like in the Philippines, we do have a lot of copies for this one. So it's published by Anvil. So, and they have like some hashtags here. Okay, not sure if my lens got that. So, yes, I enjoyed this book. Hurrah! And the last book that I read in this readathon, it would have to be Love, Hate, and Other Filters, written by Samira Ahmed. So this talks about the story of Maya, okay, who happens to be an Indian Muslim living in America, and she's like dealing with all these like stereotypes or things that are that people should kind of like conform to, like the customs, the traditions of being an Indian Muslim, and also the pressure of her remaining in Chicago, or the Metro Chicago area. She's from Batavia, and like for college, her parents kind of like want her to stay in Chicago and attend a university there, and still become a lawyer. But her passion happens to be like want to be in the film industry. Okay, so those are like kind of like the initial issues that she kind of like had to deal with, conforming to what is an Indian Muslim girl, Indian American Muslim girl, if that's another way to call it. And suddenly an event that kind of triggered Islamophobia happened, and yeah, it's like, okay, that triggered her parents. They were worried about her. Things didn't become safe around Illinois because of what happened in another city in Illinois, in Springfield. And it also kind of like affected their relationship in a way that she wanted to still go to college in New York, but her parents like stopped her, and it resulted to so many things, so many actions that Maya did, which is understandable. However, it really affected and it took a toll on her relationship with her parents, but still they still loved her, which is really awesome. And in terms of the negatives, there were times where it was so slow, it was so lengthy that I felt like it wasn't needed for me. But I really like the blurbs here, kind of like showing the other sides of the story. And apparently, just a little bit of a warning here, there's no real reason to be Islamophobic in, you know, her situation. And of course, her parents, of course, are just thinking about her safety. But yeah, I like the fact that they kind of showed other perspectives, which that's what I wanted to see when I read The Hate You Give. Kind of like there were like little blurbs here. And let me show one right now, like this, like these kind of blurbs. Yes. So, but then for me, this is like the one that I least connected to because of like the lengthiness, and it was quite a bit slow at times, and there were some, you know, books that are contemporary but they were like pretty good, they were pretty cool, like, or they were really intense, you know. So yeah, I gave this like 3.75 out of 5 stars. So these are the books that I read for #AsianReadathon for 2019. So let me know in the comments below how your experience was, as well as, you know, the books that you read. I'd love to see your comments. So I guess that's about it. If you guys like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also click that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon somewhere down there to keep yourselves posted about my videos. Also, we'll be putting my social media handles, and I'll be linking my social media accounts, so feel free to check me out and follow me there as well. As always, thank you super much for watching. Let's continue seeking for wisdom and unleash the reader in you. Bye y'all!